It was a crisp autumn afternoon when Elijah, a retired army sergeant, was walking through the park near his home. The sunlight flickered through the branches, casting a serene glow over the pathways. As he neared a bench, he overheard a group of teens, no older than 16, making snide comments about his age and the color of his skin. They were laughing, mocking the older man, oblivious to his presence. Elijah paused. He had lived through far worse, from combat zones to harsh urban streets. But he couldn't ignore the venomous words this time. His experience as a soldier had taught him to stand firm, but to pick his battles wisely. This was one of those rare moments where he felt compelled to act. He turned around, walking toward the teens. His steps were slow but deliberate. "Hey!" he called out. The teens stopped their taunting, taken aback by the deep voice of the stranger. They were already sizing him up, dismissing him as an easy target, an old man they could intimidate. "Something funny?" Elijah asked, his eyes sharp beneath the faded cap of his veteran's hat. The teens chuckled nervously, suddenly unsure of how to react. One of them, the leader of the group, smirked. "What?" "You gonna cry, old man." Elijah stood his ground. "No. But I'm wondering if you've ever really faced something that made you uncomfortable. Really challenged your idea of who you are." The leader scoffed. "I don't know what you're talking about. We're just messing around." Elijah stepped closer, pulling at the collar of his jacket. The teens tensed, now intrigued. With a quick motion, he revealed a silver medal pinned to his chest, a medal of honor, gleaming even in the soft afternoon light. The teens fell silent. "That's right," Elijah continued, his voice steady. "I earned this in a far different place, under much different circumstances than what you'll ever experience. This," he tapped the medal gently, "is for my courage in battle, not for putting down people who look different than me." The teens' faces shifted from smugness to shock. They hadn't expected this man to carry such weight, literally and figuratively. The leader stammered. "We didn't know. We were just joking around." Elijah shook his head. "It's easy to joke when you're not the one who has to live with the consequences of your words. What you think is funny, others might find harmful. You never know who you're dealing with for a moment." It was quiet, the tension thick in the air. Then the leader spoke again, quieter this time. I didn't mean anything by it." Elijah nodded. "Sometimes that's how it starts. But intention doesn't always match impact." He glanced at the others, who were now shifting uncomfortably. "You want to be better than this. You need to learn respect. That means looking beyond what's in front of you, understanding the history, the lives, the struggles of people who came before you." The teens stood still, now unsure how to respond, not knowing whether to apologize or just walk away. Elijah didn't wait for them to speak. Instead, he simply turned and began walking away. His steps steady, each one echoing with the weight of decades lived. Behind him, the teens watched him go, the reality of the moment sinking in. The leader, who had once led the taunts, stood frozen, unsure of how to proceed. But one thing was clear: they would never see the world the same way again. Elijah had made sure of that. And as the park returned to its peaceful quiet, Elijah's quiet stand had done what years of lectures and laws couldn't. He'd reminded them, in the simplest way, of what true honor looked like.